Welcome to the online class from Dhaka Secondary School, North Karachi campus. Assalamu alaikum students of class 7 in the online class of social studies. We are studying chapter number 12, Muslim scientists, philosophers and travelers, and I am your teacher Ms. Uzma. As you know that we are studying achievements of Muslims, in this we have discussed Ibn Battuta, Al-Biruni and Ibn Rushd. Today we are going to discuss Ibn Sina, Ibn Khaldun, Al-Khwarizmi and Umar al-Khayyam. Ibn Sina was a philosopher, physician and intellectual personality of his time. He memorized the Quran and masters in logic, mathematics, philosophy and medicine. Ibn Sina, also known as Abu al-Sina, Poor Sina and often known in the West as Avicenna, was a Persian polymath who is regarded as one of the most significant physician, astronomer, thinker and writers of the Islamic Golden Age and the father of early modern medicine. Fields of contribution in Ibn Sina did. He was Hafiz, Islamic philosopher, Sheikh, theologian, psychologist, astronomer, chemist, physician, mathematician, logician, soldier, statesman and poet. Books of Ibn Sina, he wrote books less than 230 and treatises also. His main contribution was his work Canon of Medicine, which is also known as Qanun al-Shifa, which became the basis of teaching medicine in the Arab world and Europe in the 17th century. He also wrote books on traveling. Here you can see some images of his books which he had written. Achievements and contribution of Ibn Sina, described correctly for the first time, escabees the H-mite and may thus be regarded as the first parasitologist. Give clinical description of mediastinal tumors, intestinal phases, inflammation on the middle ear, pericarditis, etc. Prescribe tracheotomy and direct feeding through the gullet and rectum in these cases where normal feeding was not possible. He gave the first accurate description of neurological disorders including meningitis, intracranial thermophlebitis and mediastinal tumors and made contribution to modern neuropharmacology. Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun was an Arab scholar of Islam, social scientist and historian who has been described as the father of the modern discipline of historiography, sociology, economics and demography. Achievements and contribution of Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun is known as the father of historiography. He also known as father of sociology for his observation of human nature. He was not a traveler, but his writing reflects that he had traveled to Europe, Africa and Arabian Peninsula extensively. He served at the royal court in Fez in Morocco and as Grand Qazi in Cairo. Ibn Khaldun spent his last moment in Egypt. Most of the research work was carried in Egypt while he was serving as judge in Maliki Court in Egypt. This great historian and philosopher who influenced millions of people took his last breath on 17 March 1406 in Egypt. He started his writing at the age of 30. Many historians believe that Muqaddimah was the first book he wrote and completed it in 6 months. That is his main contribution. The Muqaddimah, introduction to the Kitab al-Ibar, is a masterpiece of history and the rise and fall of civilizations. Musa al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra. Achievements and contribution of al-Khwarizmi. He was a famous mathematician. Al-Khwarizmi established the Indian numeral system and the use of zero in mathematics. His famous work is Al-Maqala fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabla, from which the word algebra is derived. Many students ask why we study algebra and why algebra is important. Algebra is an important life skill worth understanding well. It moves us beyond basic math and prepares us for statistics. It is useful for many jobs, some of which a student may enter as a second career. Algebra is useful around the house and in analyzing information in the news. Algorithm, his famous mathematical calculations are named after him, Al-Khwarizmi algorithm. He also worked on astronomy and geography and made sundials and astrolabes. When we are using the terms sundial and astrolabe, the first question is, what are these things? A sundial is a device that tells time of day when there were the sunlight by the apparent position of the sun in the sky. In the narrowest sense of the word, it consists of a flat plate, the dial, and the gnomon which casts a shadow onto the dial. Second one is an astrolabe, is a two-dimensional model of the celestial sphere. The name has its origins from the Greek word astron and lambanian, meaning the one who catches the heavenly bodies. An astrolabe is an instrument that once was the most used multi-purpose astronomical instruments. Achievements and contribution of Al-Khwarizmi. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was a 9th century Muslim mathematician and astronomer. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, Arabized as Al-Khwarizmi and formerly Latinized as Al-Khwarizmi, was a Persian polymath who produced vastly influential works in the mathematician, astronomy and geography. He is known as the father of algebra, a word derived from his book Kitab al-Jabr. His pioneering work offered practical answers for land distribution, rulers, or on inheritance and distributing salaries. Around 820, he was appointed as the astronomer and head of the library of the House of Wisdom in Baghdad and worked on translating Greek and Sanskrit. Umar al-Khayyam. Umar al-Khayyam was a Persian mathematician, astronomer, philosopher, and poet. He was born in Nishabur in northern eastern Iran and spent most of his life near the court of the Kharakhanid and Seljuk rulers in the period which witnessed the first crusades. The meaning of his name is tent maker. Achievements and contribution of Umar al-Khayyam.